know what it is. The things that y'all have done and the stories that you could tell, they have reverberated throughout the entire country. I have a lot of love for Michigan. It became an additional home of mine. I don't know what happened on election night, but I really did work. I traveled the state, but let me tell you something. I absolutely still believe in the power of Michigan, otherwise I wouldn't be standing in front of you right now. And if November 4th was any indication of the fight that the people are ready to wage, then let me tell you, we about to have a real beautiful blue tsunami on this upcoming November. As you get out there and it gets bitterly cold, because it will, because that's what y'all do. I don't want you to use that as an excuse. I want you to understand that there are children that haven't even been born yet that are relying on you to sacrifice right now in these cold streets, in these icy streets, in these bitterly cold streets. Because right now, the fight that we're waging in D.C. is not a fight that really is about right or left. It's about right or wrong. I am here to tell you that one side stands for everything that is wrong and the other side stands for everything that is right. This is a moral fight that we are currently engaged in. You see, because I don't believe that things like cancer are partisan. I don't believe that diabetes is partisan. In fact, I don't believe that illness at all has any partisanship, because the last time I checked, people on both sides of the aisle get sick. So the idea that we are saying that only the haves can have access to health care while the have-nots, or really the ones that actually make a way for the haves because they are their employees. They are the ones that are actually making this country go. And we are saying that life being unaffordable while I'm paying you a non-living wage, I'm going to now take your health care. I am here to tell you that you got some long, hard days ahead of you, but it will all be worth it. Because the question is, what legacy do you want to leave? The question is, do you really love this community the way that you say that you love it? Do you only love it enough to show up to the fancy dinner? Or do you love it enough to show up and be in the trenches? I know what Michigan can do. In fact, nobody ever looks to Texas yet. Well, they do. Y'all know when they look at Texas, they just hang their head. But on election night, the whole country will be looking to you. No pressure. But they will. You see, the fight that takes place in Michigan is bigger than Michigan. It is about the country as a whole, and frankly, it is about the world. Because historically, we have led on the international stage. Now we're a laughing stock. But I truly believe in who we are in this country, and I believe that we will get back on top as soon as we get rid of the losers. Anyway, yeah. I digress. But I want y'all to understand that I mean it when I say I'm gonna need y'all to hit those doors. I'm gonna need y'all to hit social media. I'm gonna need you to hit the ground, and I'm gonna need y'all to talk to those people that seemingly love to wear red hats. Yeah, I said it. One of the reasons that I talked about, the feud, and I'm truly loving it. I am. The point is, there are cracks. When you have somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has been one of the most devout supporters of the president, defecting, I am asking you to talk to your neighbors that love them red hats and ask them, what's those farms looking like if they own a farm? Ask them what that healthcare premium is looking like. Ask them what that grocery bill is looking like. And tell them that there is room under our tent for everybody, even people that unfortunately decided that they wanted to wear red not exist in my home state of Texas. In Michigan, women make decisions about their own bodies. In Texas, women have to flee the state to access abortion. 1 in 5 women do not have health insurance, and our maternal mortality rate has skyrocketed year after year. In fact, if you saw on social media just this week, there was a viral video of a black woman in labor that was right there in Dallas County. As she labored at the hospital, the nurse paid her no mind. As she was screaming out in pain, she was asking her, what number pregnancy is this for you? She ended up finally getting into an actual bed and delivered her child 12 minutes later. Yeah, some people don't understand how serious labor is. But women are as close to death as you can get when they are trying to bring life forth. And I am so proud of the leadership in this state, because at least women in this state have rights that I myself don't even have in my home state. In Michigan, you lead on labor protections, public schools, affordable college. You have protected the right to vote, codified protections for the LGBTQIA community. And you did that. Each and every one of you in this room contributed something to earning that Democratic trifecta. You earned that by being unafraid. Michigan Democrats embraced our values, put that into action, and delivered results that people can feel. You have a fearless governor who is a proud Democrat and doesn't shy away from bold policies. You did this by standing up and saying, hell no, enough is enough. And we are not going to sit here and take this line down. Across the country, we got fired up in 2020. But somewhere between then and 2024, we took our eye off the prize. Some got comfortable, some got complacent, and many of us were divided. Divided by design, because our unity is our strength. When we are united, that's when we prevail. That's why Trump and Elon and everyone else in the top tax brackets did everything that they could to break up our coalition. Here in Michigan, you saw that firsthand with Elon running ads purporting to be from the Harris campaign. But they were really intended to turn voters off. And many of us fell for those tactics. That's why we lost the House in Lansing and in DC. But the time is now for us to take those lessons and turn this moment into a movement. Now I'm gonna pause just for a second, because some of y'all act like y'all don't believe me when I say y'all allowed them to divide us. So I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna be real, because it was always very interesting when I came to Michigan. You see, for some reason, we are always looking for perfection when it comes to our politicians and our preachers. And every single time you look for the perfect preacher or politician, they will let you down. So I'm here to tell you that going forward, do not hold anyone to an impossible standard, because if you know anything about perfection, there is none that is walking this earth. So we have people that have very strong feelings about the war. And guess what? I don't disagree. But here it is. There were definitely people that said, you know what? Neither side. But unfortunately, we know that what is being ushered in under Donald Trump is unfathomable. But we were looking for perfection. Neither one of these teams may have been perfect, but one definitely was better. When it came down to, and this is where my preachers at, because I know it's some in here, so when it comes down to it, there's always been an interesting relationship that the Black church has, specifically with LGBTQIA rights. So every time they went around talking about trans kids playing in sports, people started to feel away. And then I'd say things like, now tell me how many trans kids are playing with your child? Crickets. So I'm like, when's the last time we elected a president to decide who's going to be playing on the playground? That's not the job of the presidency. But so many people got divided and distracted and decided that they wanted to say, well, I just don't like the idea of them trans people playing in the sports. I don't really care what you think. At the end of the day, the last time I checked, it ain't the trans kids that's messing up the tariffs in this country. The last time I checked, it's not the trans kids that are making your healthcare unaffordable. The last time I checked, the million jobs that we have lost since this man swore in had nothing to do with trans kids. So again, we allowed ourselves to be divided, and that doesn't mean that you back down from what you believe. But at the end of the day, when you are looking for who it is that is going to represent you, number one, find out what their job is. Find out what it is that they are supposed to do for you. And find out where they stand on that issue. Ultimately, I promise you, all the hell that we're going through has nothing to do with the trans kids. When ultimately they bring the distractions and they bring the division, because they will. You have an important Senate race that is happening in this state. The entire country is relying on you to make sure that we don't get another MAGA senator. Now I know y'all got a lively primary. Jesus, I hear more about y'all primary than ours. Y'all got a lively primary. And everybody may have their candidates. Have your candidates. That's what primaries are for. Test them out. See what they're talking about. See who you like the best. Okay, fine. That is what you do with primaries. But I am here to tell you, Michigan, whoever comes out of that sucker, I don't care if it was your first, your second, or your last choice. Whoever your nominee is, who may not be your perfect person, I am begging you to understand this is bigger than perfection. I am begging you to get behind your Democratic nominee. All right, y'all seem like y'all got the lesson on that one, so I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on now. All right. That's what democracy looks like. It looks like it when we actually take these races seriously. Community looks like it when folks understand their power. Because let me tell you something, when Oakland County moves, Michigan moves, and when Michigan moves, the whole country feels it. Y'all proved that in 2024. Kamala Harris won 54% right here in Oakland County. That wasn't just a miracle, that was proof that organizing and coalition building matters. Now listen, there's a reason why Democrats and Republicans keep looking at Michigan. Because y'all just don't talk about democracy, y'all defend it. You don't just talk about progress, y'all deliver it. Y'all built this momentum brick by brick. Fighting this fight is embedded into the history of this state. From the auto workers who rallied together to improve working conditions, wages, protections, and benefits, to the students at the University of Michigan. From the 12th Street to the Thumb, from the time of the sharecroppers to the age of skyscrapers, Michiganders have been known to brawl for what matters most. And get ready, because right now we are in the fight of our lives, and the only way we win is by coming together. Very few people today know how to bring folks together like the conscience of the Senate could. The man we honor tonight, the late, great Senator Bill Hart. Y'all vote for Bill Hart. Okay, clearly I'm putting y'all to sleep, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up. personalities. We've got a lot of characters without any character. We have people who favor political convenience, but lack the conviction of their conscience. On the Republican side, no one has more convictions than Donald Trump. He's got 34 and counting. DC has no shortage of microphones, egos, or chaos, but we are deeply lacking when it comes to conscience. We have folks from across the country who get elected to Congress, then forget who sent them there and why. We have some people who get so caught up in DC, they forget about places like Dundee and Clawson. They forget people who are counting on them to deliver health care, schools, hospitals, roads, bridges. People are counting on good jobs, high wages, and low prices. Yet, all we've gotten from this administration is moldy crumbs and broken dreams. Millions of Americans are losing their health care, and at a time when Trump has made all of our blood pressure go up. My God. The White House has been busy not building up America or fixing the economy, but with renovations from... Yeah, okay. Y'all haven't seen the headlines. He's tearing everything down. He's tearing the White House down and our country, all at the same damn time. As SNAP funds hung in the balance, the White House was busy planning a lavish feast, as millions of Americans were figuring out how they'd be able to put even bread and water on the table. Let me remind y'all, not only were they trying to figure it out, but he had the money. I mean, he found $40 billion for Argentina. Last time I checked, Senator, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember appropriating for, okay, all right, I'm just saying, we didn't give him the money. So whatever couch cushion, J.D. Vance wasn't on top of it, he was I need him to go back under that other couch cushion. And actually, we have a rainy day emergency fund specifically for the SNAP benefits, and he fought against feeding the people. Unless they was coming tomorrow, I'll go, but that's... So as Trump sorts through color swatches and decides between Chantilly lace and alabaster, millions of Americans have to figure out, are they paying for Ellie's braces or Mima's insulin? Because they can't afford both. While Trump dozes off in meetings, Americans are kept up at night worried how they are going to pay the light bill, the car note, the mortgage, the groceries, or send their kids to college. Under this administration, the cost for all those items have gone up while wages are stagnant and job numbers plummet. Michigan is what we want. And when I say that, y'all passed gun reform. Y'all protected women. Y'all gave us a preview of what it is to have a trifecta, y'all. We need that again. Of course, we gotta wait for him to be gone, but we can work on it right now, though. We need the House and the Senate. Yeah. Senator Hart was cut from a different cloth. He didn't chase what was popular, he stood for what was right. He stood 10 toes down for the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act because he knew that democracy wouldn't work if everyone couldn't have access to it. That's principled purpose. That's pioneering for progress. And that's what Michigan has done over and over again. In 2018, y'all took it a step further and passed automatic voter registration, same-day voter registration, and no excuse absentee voting all at once. And in 2022, y'all did it again. You strengthened those protections and you put them right in the state constitution. Yeah, that's big, y'all. I'm telling you, we don't have these luxuries in Texas, y'all. That is the power of the people who understand the responsibility, and the responsibility of the people who understand their power. I am always going to be a believer in the power of the people. Most of you know me as a congresswoman, but let me take you back just a little bit in time. I started out as a young lawyer okay, they wrong on this. I started out as a young lawyer. They edited my speech. They shouldn't have added this. They shouldn't have added this. This is not what I was doing. I am, because they edited my speech. Anyway, see myself out anyway. Alright, so I started out at a civil law firm, and I was actually